It is rapidly becoming apparent to me that you are not only not competent to hold your job, you could not even run a game of strip poker in a Turkish brothel.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in. I want to do something a little bit different. I'm getting a lot of hassle for copyright when I'm just doing fair use. So I want to do this look at WandaVision slightly different. I'll do the stuff I do, but this comes first. Plus, I don't know how long it's going to take for those to get approved. So, WandaVision. I've got 4 episodes under my belt now. What is WandaVision? That's a good question. It's a quirky name. It fits. It fits with the retro style of the situation comedies we see, especially the 50s and 60s. Yeah, I suppose maybe even later in that, but WandaVision. It's a very interesting title. And look, I don't know, but I know. I know what WandaVision is. I know what it means. I know what it means. And it's not Wanda Maximoff and Vision. It's not that. It's not that at all. Not really. It's all kooky. It's all very interesting, especially at the beginning, but now we're starting to get a little bit of what this is all about. So I'm not really going to give a lot of specific details. I think I'm pretty vague on it. I hate saying the term spoilers. I hate saying that. But probably a good idea to go find the legitimate Disney-authorized avenue to find these episodes and watch them, give them your money, or go to somebody who's already given them your money. Hear that, Disney? Go watch it and come back, and I'll talk about this. On a count of 3, 2, 1, boom. So this is quirky and weird and interesting. Yes, so I love that. And I love stories about characters who they're trying to save something. They're trying to save the people that matter to them. They're trying to save and improve their lives. And of course, they make mistakes. And to have somebody who is so OP, I don't like saying OP, overpowered or vastly outclassing most people around them. Wanda is, as that character, Scarlet Witch, is out of nobody is really in her league. So how do you rein her in and keep her believable and as a challenge to opponents? Well, let's not have an opponent. Let's have a situation, and this is the situation. What is she doing? She is struggling to maintain her own life, her life the way she wants it to be. She just wants... Does she want powers? Does she want her powers, or does she want her parents? I think they died when she and Pietro were young. Does she want her powers, or does she want her country to not experience such strife and upheaval? Does she want her powers, or does she want her brother alive? Does she want her powers, or does she want the accident that happened before the Sokovia Accords to occur? Does she want the Avengers split up and possibly the grief that it may have something to do with what she did? Does she want that? That's a hell of a lot of weight for a person, right? And then falling in love with Vision, and then he dies. And then he doesn't die, and then she has to kill him. Does she want her powers, or does she want 10% of that to be gone? That's a hell of a weight on your consciousness or your soul. That's a hell of a lot of grief. That's a hell of a lot of self-blame. Yeah, she's pissed. Yeah, she's hurt. Profoundly hurt. Stories like that give me something to be very interested in. It's not about flying powers. It's not about lasers. It's not about nanotech. It's not about supernatural. It's not about any of that. That just happens to be what she has available to her, and she frantically struggles to use that. Some things that she's very capable of using her own powers, but she can't put her life back together again. Any of it, because it's damn hard. We know that. People without powers, we know that. We try to put our lives together, and we don't have any, super soldier serum and Hulk transformations. We don't have any of that problem. We don't have any of those gifts or complications. We have much more simple lives, and we can't put our shit together. If we had superpowers, it would still be out of reach, or it would still be damn near impossible or extremely difficult. And we would get it wrong, and we would be blinded by our own grief. That's what we have here. That's what we have. That's what makes this so interesting to me. Now, it still may not work. It still may at some point go off the rails. It still may not satisfy, or it may be okay one time through, and then it might not have huge returns on subsequent viewings. I like what they've got so far. I love what they got so far. Because your heart goes out to Wanda. Your heart breaks for her. None of it is real. The people in there are, apparently, but I don't mean that stuff. I mean, the world she's in is a facade, so that's not real. Her own children, almost certainly not real. Almost 100% certainly not real. Vision, probably not real. Could she bring him back? Maybe. And what will the cost be? That's what connects us to this story. Her grief, her grief and her guilt and her feeling of being unable to save and protect those who mean the most to her. She's a superhero. What happens when normal people like us have a hero complex? And when we can't do it, or we finally come up against something that cannot work, or not finally, inevitably, maybe on the first go, and the second, and the third, and the fourth. We don't stop. We keep trying because we have that pattern in our head that's what we need to do. And we end up, as folks that I work with have said before, you end up stepping on your own dick. That's kind of a colorful way to say it, but that's probably what we have going on here. That's what makes it easy to connect to Wanda. It's heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. It's very satisfying emotionally to see that. And you think about what's going on in your life, and you have a much better appreciation for the things that you do have. Yeah, I know it's a story about superhero powers and, a team of heroes that can do damn near anything. And yeah, I know, don't take it too seriously. But all stories are used to reflect on the human condition, on what we see. Give us a chance to escape and yet reflect. So far, that being the case, WandaVision, I think, is very good. What is WandaVision? Is WandaVision rose-tinted glasses? Is that WandaVision? Vision just happens to also be the name of the other character. But the title doesn't refer to Vision. She's looking through WandaVision. She's looking through the Scarlet Witch glasses, the face furniture, as Dame Edna would say. That's what we have here. Maybe I'm way wrong. Maybe the next episode we're going to find out, nope, hey, Marco, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It sounds okay now. We'll see where it goes from there. I can hardly imagine what it would have been like with Cobra Kai week to week. I would have preferred week to week. I would have preferred having to hold until the next week and wonder and think about it and chew it over with other people. I would have preferred that. So that's one of the reasons why I do like WandaVision. episode by episode. It's why I love Doctor Who so much. It's why I loved season finales when Star Trek The Next Generation was new. You mean we've got to wait until next week? No, pal, you got to wait until next season. You just saw a cliffhanger. I love those things. I love that stuff. I could talk and talk and talk, and I usually do, so it's probably a good time for me to rein in the horses and shut my trap. Folks, thank you very much for coming along on the ride for me. Thank you for being here and listening. Until next time, I hope you all take care.